It's a rainy day, so that gives me time to fix something on my tractor that I've been meaning to fix for a long time. So today, I'm gonna fix the biggest complaint I have about this TYM 4820 with just a 12mm wrench and a pair of needle nose pliers. And I think you're gonna like it. So guys, I did a lot of research before I decided on which tractor I was going to buy. And when I bought the TYM 4820, it's because I felt like it was the best value on the market. But that doesn't make it a perfect tractor. And when I brought it home, the very first thing I noticed as I was driving up my hill was how hard it is to press the hydrostat pedal on this thing. Like, I didn't make it all the way up the hill on my own without using the cruise control because my leg was getting tired holding it down. It's stiff. Now guys, I can tell you that it's that way for a reason. They put a really stiff spring on this and they tighten it up so that it's safe and you don't just bump it and your tractor lurch forward, or you're driving along and hit bumps and it makes it move faster. So they want your movements to be deliberate, which means they put a lot of tension on it, so you have to really press. But I've operated a lot of tractors that are nowhere near as stiff as the pedal on this 4820, and I want to fix it. So I will tell you first, do this adjustment at your own risk, understand what you're doing, and adjust the pedal according to your own abilities. But that being said, I can't wait to get this thing lined out. Now guys, I love making these videos, and I make these videos to share with you guys to try to help you with your tractor ownership experience and all the things that you're doing, try to make people's lives a little bit easier. But I also do it to kind of help me pay my bills and pay for my hobbies and all of those things. So I'm gonna insert a sponsor segment here for about 45 seconds. Hope you guys enjoy it because I really appreciate them helping us out in making our content. All right guys, well today's video is brought to you by Hyperlite. Hyperlite was actually one of the very first sponsors of our channel, and they reached out to me the other day and said they make custom neon signs and they would like to make one for the coffee shop. And I couldn't turn it down. I love my wife and daughter's coffee shop, Farmer's Daughter Coffee. Hyperlite was not only able to make our logo, but they also made their own design and sent it to us that had a tractor and a coffee cup. We really liked that. So we asked them to make that sign for us and they sent it to us. And I just love it. So if you're looking for a custom neon sign for your man cave, or if you've got a business of your own, check out Hyperlite at their website. I'll put a link down in the description, and they can design you a custom sign for whatever your needs are. So rainy days are good for this type of work. So this spring right here is what puts your tension on your hydrostat pedal. And the easiest way to adjust the tension is to loosen this bottom nut off, and then you can get a pair of needle nose and see how you can push that spring tension up. I reach up in there and grab a hold of that nut and push it up to take the tension off of the top nut, and that way you can actually loosen the tension by hand. So if you push that up, then you can loosen the tension on this top nut until you get the tension where you want it. And then you just got to tighten this jam nut back up so that it won't move. It's pretty tight quarters up here, and that's why I recommend, instead of trying to use a wrench and crank on that top nut with the spring tension on it, it's easier to just go ahead and loosen this jam nut and then use a pair of pliers to lift it up, and then you can spin that nut freely by hand. So to make sure that I explain this clearly, that bottom jam nut is the first thing you're going to loosen up. Now next, you're going to want to loosen the nut that's on top of that plate. But because it's so tight to get a wrench up in there, it's easier to just press up on the bolt and loosen the tension on the nut, and then you can spin it by hand. So this pedal, when I brought this tractor home, was very hard to push. In fact, you couldn't just push it with your foot. You have to get your whole leg involved in pressing the pedal, and it made it difficult. But with our little adjustment to that spring and just loosening the tension to where it doesn't begin with any tension on it, it's just snug to where it's ready to start putting tension on. Now, when I press this pedal, I literally can do it with just shifting my ankle. And that's something that you couldn't do before. So it makes this a whole lot easier to press, and I'm all the way to the floor right there, just by pressing forward. It doesn't take He-Man to get that pedal pushed down to the floor now, but it also is not real jerky. I feel like it's the right compromise for what we're looking for here. So it's really easy to press, but it's also not, see, you can see I can press it very simply, but it's also not just gonna go ramming into things willy-nilly. It's just what it needs to be. So guys, you don't just have to live with that stiff pedal and use your cruise control to get through live. You can actually make an adjustment and make it something that's bearable to use. Just like that, in about 5 minutes, I took care of what was really my biggest complaint against this TYM 4820. I'm loving this tractor. I would give them a hard look if you're in the market for a big compact tractor. This is a nice machine. All right guys, well I'm not gonna lie, I was in my chair editing the video and I thought, man, I cannot put this video out without doing a test run and driving the tractor up the hill. So here I go. Already had my shower, out here in my hay dudes. And while I could tell easily in the garage that the pedal is a lot easier to push, I really wanted to come out here and drive up the hill just because that's what truly tells the tale. So coming up the hill pressing the pedal was a whole lot easier. Now, it's not effortless, it's still a man's pedal, but it's a whole lot better. Now, I will caution you, don't go too far on your spring adjustment because you want your tractor to stop when you let off of the pedal. In loosening that pedal, the actual response time for the tractor to stop is slower. Now, if you need to stop faster, it's not hard. You obviously can press the reverse pedal and slow it down or use your brakes. But that being said, if you take all of the spring tension off, then you're gonna know it because your tractor's gonna be slower to slow down. But guys, that being said, this is definitely something worth doing and getting it right for what you want. It makes this a whole lot more comfortable to drive, but the raindrops are coming down again, so I'm gonna have to get back to the house. I just had to come out here and do a test drive up the hill. So guys, until next time, listen, get outside and enjoy God's creation because it's beautiful out here. And y'all have a good day.